How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Duber here, and today we are back in Blackhawk Rescue Mission 5. But today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today we are going to be soloing the Naval Base. And the reason I'm making this video is because I have seen a lot of YouTubers go over the difficulty of this mission. And I kind of did it first try, and so it kind of surprised me. So I thought I'd make a video showing you all how I did it and showing you that it's all not as bad as everyone says it is. And so we've flown in with a little bird here, and we're at the first objective already. First objective being destroying this radar thing, I don't know. So we just flew in to this radar dish thing. We prone to avoid being spotted by those guys, and now we can fly over to the next objective. Make sure you fly low because there is anti-air here, but if you follow this path, this should be a nice clean way to go without being detected. So we're flying up here to this next area. There's another radar dish thing that you got to take care of over here, so we're just going to take it nice and slow. Avoid the trees and land here. Now, I am going to use two guns for this raid. I'll show them on the screen now. One of them is the MXR, which is what I'm using now. It has terrible range and damage, but it uses 220 grains subsonic rounds. And so, contrary to what was just shown there, the enemies have a hard time detecting you even if you shot close to them. And the other is the RF417. Much longer range, much better damage. We'll be using that later. But for now, we've cleared these guys on this side of the ports, and now I'm going to fly a bit closer just because, you know, our range is terrible. I want to get as close as possible. But now we're going to be shooting these guys here. Again, that damage is just so bad. Look at how many shots that is. Anyway, just taking our time, making sure that this port is nice and clear so that when we fly over to that next objective, we do not get detected. Now, with the port generally clear, we are free to fly over here to this next objective. Again, still nice and low. There is one other guy way out in the distance, so if you do fly too high, he can detect you, but we should be pretty safe to just fly over here, land. I'm going to go ahead and destroy this objective and then move on to the submarines. So now we can move on to the submarines, and the position I'm going to land is just right above these docks here. Just going to land nice and low, and now that we've landed, if you take this path that I go down, it should make it so that you don't get detected, but you also don't take much damage. We're going to come around to the side here and go down this natural slope. Okay, and now that we're down here, it is dark, so I would recommend night vision goggles if you have them. You don't need quad goggles, they're just the ones that I prefer. And now we are going to clear these docks. There's not too many guys here, but just make sure you're checking your corners, play it nice and slow. That's going to be the most important thing to do while we are clearing these objectives, is making ourselves be very thorough when checking these corners, making ourselves very thorough that we don't mess up. And after we've finished with these objectives, then we can kind of be a little less, careful. So we've made it to this first submarine. We're going to start planting the explosives. There can be a batch of two guys here. It looks like I had that happen to me here. So I'm going to go ahead and reload a full magazine and set it to fully automatic so that I can just spray these guys, deal with them as quickly as possible. But man, even then that damage was so awful that even with a burst, they did not go down. But anyway, we made it through that. So now we can, I guess I want to shoot this guy first. Now we can finish with this submarine and move on. Still being cautious, checking around these corners. The spawns are kind of different each time you attempt this, so just make sure you know where everyone is before you make your move on the guy that you see or where you want to move up. And you know, if you can't help it, you want to melee guys. Not melee, but do a stealth takedown just so that you can save some ammo. Not that I really ran out of ammo during this raid, but still just something to take into consideration. And now this area should be generally clear and we can move to the next submarine. So something funny and annoying was happening here. This guy was able to spot me even though his face was inside of a pillar. So normally I would take this right path to the submarine because it just allows you to get behind all the enemies, but I couldn't do that here, so I actually ended up having to go around the long way to deal with this guy and go on the side that I don't like. But yeah, I don't know how this guy could see me when his face is inside of the pillar, but we gotta move up anyway. So we've made it to the little rascal that was spotting me with his head in a pillar. Now it's not gonna matter because his neck is snapped. But we're close enough to see the rest of these guys that are here. There's actually not too many. There usually is a couple guys at that back corner just up ahead. But I think I only had one guy on the turret and one guy on that plant explosives objective to the left. Normally there's a few more guys here, and there's usually a guy tucked up in that corner next to where the door is. So again, the spawns seem to be different each time, so just be careful. And another thing to be careful of here is I went in for a stealth takedown of this guy, and because he was in front of the turret, as I walked up to him to do the stealth takedown, it put me in the turret instead. So if you go for this guy or another guy in a turret, before you do the stealth takedown, just make sure that it actually says stealth takedown and not enter turret, because you do not want what just happened to me to happen to you. So this area is now clear and we should be free to plant all the explosives. So all the explosives on all the submarines were planted, and I have actually run back the way we came, back to the helicopter to come up here, because the next objective that we're going to do is the anti-air. And we're going to get as close as possible to about 100 meters on the objective. If you need a visual marker, there is a sniper up here, so make sure you dispatch him first. The reason you want to get closer to the objective is sometimes his body can fall, and if the NPCs see it, you need to dispatch them quickly. So that's the reason we get nice and close before we take him out. And so now we have a couple options here. If you have a stronger rifle that's capable of one-shotting these guys, and you're confident you can control the recoil of it and quickly take care of them, then you can just go ahead and shoot them all. But since this rifle I know is to be weak and won't one-shot them in the head, I have to take a different approach. So there's this sniper to the left that we need to take care of first, and then we can move around to the side and I'll stealth take down most of these guys. But man, look at the range on it. I'm having a hard time scoping in where these rounds are even hitting. But anyway, there we go. Finally took care of the sniper, so now we are free to move along the side here. And what we're going to do is, there's 3 guys that are stationary and one is walking in a circle just around this area in general. So what we're going to do is we are going to get nice and close, and we're going to wait for this guy that's walking around to pass a certain point so that we can stealth take down some of his buddies and then take this guy that's walking out. So now the guy has just passed the point I wanted him to, so now we are going to come up to this guy here, do a stealth takedown, and then we're going to go over to the mortar guy. Going to do a stealth takedown on the mortar guy here, and now I was going to go stealth takedown the next guy, but I thought the guy that's walking around is going to see the bodies of some of the guys I took down, so I decided to just take them out and shoot them. You don't have to sabotage this mortar if you don't want, but you can. The next thing we're going to do is plant the explosives on this next objective. But here, we're actually not going to move on to the next objective. We're actually going to do something very important here. After you've planted the explosives, just go ahead, hop over the ledge, and right now we are going to do probably one of the most important steps that'll make or break the raid. So, where I'm heading right now, there is a sniper on the mountain. So we're going to go walk on over, take him out, and then take a nice position that'll see most of the naval base and work on clearing some guys while we're up here. We've made it to this sniper on the mountain. We're going to go ahead and initiate a stealth takedown. With the sniper dealt with, now we're just going to kind of scope and see where all the enemies are. Now this crane here, I actually missed a guy. This crane you need to thoroughly, and I mean thoroughly check. I've seen up to 6 guys on this crane, and I missed one, and it cost me, not the whole raid, but he messed up the stealth aspect of it. I completely missed him. So again, make sure that crane specifically, you thoroughly check. Because if you don't get rid of all the guys on the crane, it's going to mess up the next 2 objectives. Another thing you got to be careful of is when you take these guys out, just like you saw there, their bodies can fall. And if you get unlucky, I've had it happen to me one time, the guy at the tip of the crane here, if you take him out at a certain angle, he will fall right in front of one of the NPCs down below. So I decided I would take the time to move further to the right to hopefully have his body fall left instead of forward. His body fell forward anyway when I took him out, but it didn't land right in front of an NPC. I got lucky here that his body fell on top of the tarp. I don't know how the guy standing next to the gate didn't see it, but just very fortunate there. These 2 guys I'm looking at now must be taken out. Because when you're down there in that dip area where the tarps are and the containers, when you're dealing with the NPCs in there, these guys will hear it. So you have to take them out now. This guy especially, he must be taken out. He will ruin your run if you go for the VIP down there. Using your best judgment, after you've taken out all that you think you can do, head to the left down this way that I have taken. Make sure you get rid of that gunner. And now all we are going to do is walk forwards to that dip area that we saw previously, because what we're after here is one of the VIPs. So we've crawled our way towards this crate area in the middle, and this is where having our main weapon will be handy. It's very silent, and so if we want to, we can shoot these guys, but it is still better to do a silent takedown if you can. Now this guy absolutely ruined my playthrough. I didn't see him before and he ruined everything. I mean, I can't believe it. I was working on these VIPs, and because I left a sniper, it just ruined everything. And, you know, it's a shame because I was actually close to saving this too. I don't know how he didn't die. He must have been in good cover from the crane. You can see I actually killed him as he called in for reinforcements. Super, super lame. But, you know, if you do mess up, I just want you to know it will be fine. So we're going to still continue and clear out the VIP best we can. So there he is. He's down now. And depending on where you're at, if it's gone loud or if it's still stealth, what you want to do, if it's stealth, is you want to come up to this building. There's a ladder that goes straight to the roof. There it is. You'll climb up that, prone on the roof, crawl down, get the VIP in there, and at that point you can go loud, and it won't matter because you've done all the objectives. There won't be any reinforcements. But if you have gone loud at this point, let me show you what you should do instead, because it'll be way easier. Again, you only need to follow this step if you have gotten loud. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly hot straight in towards that building where the VIP is. And as you can see, the stealth has reset. So we do have a bit of time before it goes loud again. So we're going to just land right here. Things have gone hot at this point. Get in this door quickly or you're going to get shot up. Kill everyone in here as quick as possible. Right now, it's okay if it's gone loud. You're already in the building. So we're just going to clear this out. The VIP should be in this left room here. And there he is. So we've just killed him, and now you can immediately reset. And now all we're going to do is clear. There are no more objectives left, so they won't get any reinforcements. Even if you go loud at this point, it doesn't really matter. Sure, they get more guys, but they won't be getting any reinforcements. And you should have enough ammo to deal with this. So at this point, it's just a standard clear everybody out. It's really easy, really not all that bad. When it does go loud, because it most likely will, just make sure you stay in that main building, because once it does go loud, there will be mortars coming in, and so you want to clear that main area first. Ensure that's cleared out. Then I would go clear the submarine area. Then clear near the front area. Then the sides. The sides will be the easiest, so I would just save that for last in case anything goes wrong. And that honestly should be it. And here we are. Mission completed. It really is not so bad as long as you know what to do, so I hope this video helped you out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Doober. You have been watching DoobTube. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.